Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I have 5 burning questions that Raider Nation is asking themselves right before their Week 14 showdown with the Minnesota Vikings. For those that do not know, Jeremy and we are going to be live on Sunday. We're going to be doing a Jim Plunkett jersey giveaway, so I don't want you to miss it. It's not only a jersey giveaway, it's a signed Jim Plunkett jersey by Jim Plunkett himself, certified. So we got documentation. And if you want a chance to win, subscribe, tune in, but also help Jeremy and I cheer on the Raiders when they take down Minnesota. The very first burning question that I have, and realistically, man, like this is not just important for going into Week 14, it's also a very important question in terms of, do you want Antonio Pierce? Do you want Champ Kelly back next season? Because to me, when you get an extra week to prepare, and I understand that it's the holiday season. I love the holidays as much as anybody. Also, we are filming this live. Shout out to Jeremy. Happy Hanukkah. I love the holidays as much as anyone, right? But you still have a job to be able to do. Like, you're still fighting for that. And to me, how well are the Raiders prepared after this bye week? Because every game from here on out, it's a playoff game, man. And good head coaches, they have their teams ready to go after a bye. And remember how I said good head coaches? Well, when you look at the last 20 years, okay, the last 20 times the Raiders, after a bye, their record is 4-16. That's not good. That's a 25% chance of winning. Minnesota, also coming off a bye week. So Pierce preached this week about playing a full game. He preached about being ready to go from start to finish. And to me, that deserves a lot of kudos. But you can talk all you want. It's time to show up. And for those of you watching this live, I am going to have to eat a grasshopper. And if you're not watching this live, it's another reason to watch our live Raiders Report show. Shout out to Taino. So my question to y'all is this. What is your confidence level in the Raiders on beating the Vikings? I want you to scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being, you're not confident at all. They have no chance. If you're like, Mitch, they're going to win, and I believe that this team's going to win, I want you to spam those 10s. For me personally, when I think about this matchup from top to bottom, my scale of confidence level in the Raiders to beat the Vikings is a 6. To me, the Raiders can beat Minnesota. Like, yes, they're getting Justin Jefferson back. Yeah, the Minnesota team, they're going to bring a lot of blitzing, but it comes down to Josh Dobbs. Like, I think Aidan O'Connell and Josh Dobbs are very similar in terms of what kind of quarterback they are. Like, Aidan doesn't deserve to be a starter, but he is one because of the current situation. Josh Dobbs isn't a starting quarterback in the NFL, but is one because of the current situation with Minnesota. And I just think that Dobbs has shown that he turns the football over more than Aidan. And because of that, I am going to go with the Raiders to win this football game with a 6 level of confidence. Speaking of AOC, let's talk about him here. Second burning question is, can Aidan O'Connell win a big game? Like, has he gotten better? Yes. Is he still looking like a rookie from time to time? Of course. Do I ever think that Aidan O'Connell is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? No, I do not. Do I think Aidan has the potential to be a good backup for his entire career? Yes, I do. But honestly, man, like, until you can beat a good team, I'm always going to wonder, can Aidan O'Connell beat a good team? Because in his 5 starts, started against the Chargers, which I still think the Chargers are a halfway decent team, though they're also 5-7. The Raiders lost to them. And no, I don't think that wins and losses are a quarterback stat. However, when you're in a situation where you have the opportunity next offseason to get your own quarterback, I'm going to look at wins and losses. He beat the Jets. The Raiders beat the Giants. So those are 2 teams that the Raiders should have beat. But against the Chiefs, against the Dolphins, they came up short, right? We can all agree on that. And in the game against Miami, Aidan was really, really bad. So if Aidan O'Connell can prove to me that he can beat a good football team in Minnesota, that he can keep this thing marching for the final 5 weeks of the season, Aidan's got to look at this as, man, I can totally change my life, my family's life, generations' lives, but I got to start playing some solid football. Keep the train rolling. Played well against Kansas City. I need to see that plus a lot more if the Raiders want to keep him around next season. I got 3 more burning questions on today's show, but I would not be able to make today's show for free if it wasn't for our awesome sponsor here, Prize Picks. And if anybody wants to get started, it's daily fantasy sports made easy. Easy and exciting daily fantasy. All you got to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and make sure that you use code CLNS for a first-time deposit up to $100. My picks for this game are, I took Aidan O'Connell more than 213.5 passing yards. I do think that he's going to have some success in this game against Minnesota and their corners, which is why I decided to go more with Davante Adams, because Minnesota struggles a lot against number one receivers. I did take the more for TJ Hawkinson in receiving yards at 52.5 because Hawkinson's the safety check down guy for Josh Dobbs. I did go less with Jacobs, but that doesn't mean that I want the Raiders to go away from him. The Vikings' defensive strength is on their defensive line, their defensive interior, and Danielle Hunter. And the Raiders, even though I took the less, this is one that I hope I'm wrong on. But no matter what, I'm going to have fun playing, and you guys can have a good time playing as well. Use code CLNS, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Again, terms always apply, but go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Jeremy, let's go to my third burning question, and will Devonte Adams get it going? And this isn't so much like a question of Devonte. It's more of a, hey, Bo Hardegree, hey, Antonio Pierce, hey, Raiders offense, what do we got to do to get 17, looking like 17 again? I know that Devonte is one of the best in the biz. Everybody knows that Devonte is one of the best in the biz. But for some reason, there are times where Devonte gets the ball all the time, and then it's just like, where did he go? I have no idea. This season, 69 grabs. Nice. 814 yards, 4 touchdowns on a 17-game pace. Devonte this season would have 98 catches, 1,153 yards, 6 touchdowns. And I know that a lot of receivers, those are good numbers, and they are good numbers. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Tay, but you're not considered the best receiver in the NFL if these numbers are good. And when you look at these numbers, compared to Devontae's entire career, 98 receptions in a season would be the lowest that he has had since 2019. And honestly, when you look at the numbers from just the last 3 seasons, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and now this year, so 5 seasons, I mean, he's having by far his worst season that he's had. Yes, he's had to deal with Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, he's had to deal with a rookie quarterback in Aidan O'Connell. But to me, you can still target Devonte. Lowest since 2019 in yards. The 11.8 average is the second lowest of his career, and 6 touchdowns is the lowest since 2019. Devonte has had 3 straight years of over 100 grabs, over 1,300 yards, and double-digit touchdowns. I want us to make it a bigger part this game against Minnesota to get Devonte Adams going. So I don't know if you guys saw, but for Prize Picks, I took the more. Maybe y'all want to fade my picks. It's all good. Do you think Devonte Adams is going to have more or less than 68.5 receiving yards against the Vikings? Spam more, spam less. If you want to be an overachiever and give me the exact prediction that you think he's going to have, I'll be looking down in the comments. Let's go to number 4 here, my fourth burning question. How will the young defensive backs play for Las Vegas? The Raiders have to have some confidence in their young DBs because they moved on from Marcus Peters the way that they did. So, with that being said, with the latest reports out there, the defensive backs, the young guys, are expected to get some more work. So I'm looking at big opportunities here for Amik Robertson, for a Jack Jones, a Tyler Hall. Hell, a Nate Hobbs is going to get an opportunity. I think Brandon Faison might play his first game of the year. It could also come down to some of the safeties, maybe an Isaiah Paulomeo, right? They also moved on from Roderick Teamer. Do you see Chris Smith out there a little bit more? To me, the Raiders secondary going up against the pass catchers that Minnesota has, it's going to be a tough test. But also, if I'm Patrick Graham, and this is why I kind of get mad at Raider fans at times when they're like, Mitch, the Raiders aren't in it anymore. The season doesn't matter. That's every single game in the NFL matters. And if you want to just say, sure, this season doesn't matter, you can say that all you want. I'm going to disagree. But do you want the Raiders to win in 2024? Do you want them to be successful next season? A lot of the times what coaches do, GMs do, and if they don't evaluate the end of the season, then you're not doing a very good job. You need to evaluate how your team plays over these final 5 games because that's going to determine Who do I want to re-sign that's going to be a free agent? What players do I potentially want to cut? What players am I like legitimately trying to bring back and build around? Like, that is a very important thing that people need to have. So for those that do not know, we are doing a Jim Plunkett jersey giveaway. I actually left it on my desk if you want to run, grab it really quick. But we're going to be giving away a signed jersey, Jim Plunkett himself, on Sunday. We'll tell you guys how to enter to win like we always do. But if you're not subscribed and if you're not watching, bottom line, you don't have a chance to win. This is JSA certified. I got a better Vanna White than all of y'all. Jim Plunkett signed jersey, JSA certified. You can see Plunkett's signature right there. You can get the signature of one of the greatest Raiders quarterbacks of all time. And I'm excited to be able to do it. I'm excited to be able to give something away like that during the holidays. Y'all always show us love, so the more and more love that we can show y'all, believe me when I say this, I appreciate the nation more than you guys could ever imagine. Jeremy, let's go to the final burning question before the Raiders' Week 14 game against the Vikings, and maybe this is the biggest.
Okay, we're ready.
How healthy is Maxx Crosby going to be? I made a video on Thursday reporting something that I was told, and I was told this on Saturday, last Saturday for those of you that are watching, so whatever that date is, it's probably like the 3rd or the 4th. I was told that the Raiders are considering shutting down Maxx Crosby for the season, and Max doesn't want that to happen. However, the Raiders are trying to be smart here with the knee injury. He's not going to be 100% for the remainder of the season. He almost missed the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, but the bigger thing is it's the longevity, right? When you're dealing with the injury that Crosby is dealing with, I do think that that's something that needs to be talked about because it's not only, season ending, it's limb threatening. It is life threatening. And I know when we look at players, we look at them as players, right? And I am responsible for that as well. But you also have to look at Maxx Crosby as a young man, as a father, as a husband, as a son. And anytime I hear life-threatening, like Max is going to be Max, right? And he's going to be a dog. He's going to go out there and he's going to say, man, I want to go out there and play. But sooner or later, and the sooner might be coming, where if the Raiders lose and they're out of playoff contention, okay? You're out of playoff contention, the Raiders might shut down Crosby. If you want more information on the story that I'm talking about, here is the thumbnail that is available to all of y'all. This link is also going to be available to you guys down in the comments, down in the description. It's also on my Twitter right now if you want to go check it out. But I want Max here. It's also going to be a bigger opportunity. Then we can see a little bit more from Tyree Wilson. You can see a little bit more from Malcolm Kuntz. You can see a little bit more from some of these younger players on the defensive line. I want the Raiders to make the playoffs. But I'll tell you this right now, I will not sacrifice Maxx Crosby's health in order to do so, and neither should the nation. So let's go through these one more time. 5 burning questions for the nation before their Week 14 game against the Minnesota Vikings. Are the Raiders prepared after their bye week? You got an extra week. You better be ready. Aidan O'Connell, can he win a big game? 2-3 in his career. Davante Adams, Minnesota really struggles against star receivers. Can we get him going a little bit? Will the young DBs play well? I hope so. Big opportunity for Amik Robertson, Tyler Hall, Jack Jones, some of these younger guys trying to prove it. And then, how healthy is Maxx Crosby going to be? All those questions are going to be answered Sunday when the Raiders take on the Minnesota Vikings. My question to you is, are you going to be there rocking and rolling with Jeremy Chuggs and I? I sure hope so. And you know what? If you made it this far in the video and you're going to be rolling with us tomorrow, I want you all to spam RO4L down in the comments.